I read a stat on my phone last night that I spent 16 and a half hours, 16 hours and 25 minutes for exact, on my phone yesterday. Fresh new day of a month. I think it's about time that I actually schedule my day in such a way that I spend some time off my phone as well. That is my food. Thank you. Today's meal has been sponsored by the Harry's Bistro. Now this is a multi-cuisine restaurant at Saltlake. So jara Saltlake e thako tomra etar byapare already janbe. You have a guest house called the Harry's Guest House. So whoever are residents from Saltlake area, I think you know about this place already. Let me know if you visited this place or this restaurant and tried out the food over here. Now before I talk about the first meal, which is a Chinese super combo, I'm going to be telling you guys something. The moment I received my parcels for today, one of the combos is a biryani combo, like you've seen. And it smelled amazing. The moment I received it, when I was holding it, oi aroma ta etota beshi chilo. Lot of control which I had to do, putting aside the biryani to be the next meal, because I'm starting off with some Chinese first. So what they've given me over here, this is a super Chinese combo which is priced 209, giving tremendous discounts on Swiggy and Zomato too, so you can check them out. So you have your basil rice over here, an option of basil noodles. They've given me both, but you're going to get any one. So basil rice or noodles. You have your chicken lat makai, there's kung pao, there's a dessert, there's salads, and that's pretty much it. It's a pretty big combo. Let's start eating first. It is really good. I mean, the flavor of the basil is very predominant over here. Although this is a veg rice, I think you can have it by itself. This is that good. Let me take in some of that chicken lat makai first. Super stuff. I am in love with this rice, it's that good. Moving on to the noodles. This too is basil noodles. I must say, when I learned about the menu which they have, it's a multi-cuisine, so they have Indian, Mughlai, Chinese. Chinese was one thing I was not very excited about. In fact, I had spoken to the owner and had said that Chinese is not something I'm looking forward to, but it's a surprise that they've sent me this Chinese, and now I know why. I think this is one of their strongest suit. It has got to be, because it is that good. This rice is amazing. Anyway, since I have a lot of other stuff to review as well, let me dig into this kung pao chicken. Now the size of each piece is massive, as you can see. The chicken which they use is a mix of breast as well as leg, so it's not going to be very soft, it still is pretty juicy. This rice, guys, I cannot have enough of this. The salads too are pretty decent. Thank goodness they don't give kimchi. I'm not a fan of kimchi. So what they give is these cut vegetables dipped in vinegar. So these are your pickled vegetables. It's pretty good. Finally, they've given this huge piece of gulab jamun. This is cold, so that's alright. But this rice, I'm going to finish this rice off by itself without using any of the chicken. It's almost unfair how you can make a simple basil vegetable rice so tasty. Next, we have a mutton biryani combo. This smells really good, but I feel the amount of rose water is slightly more in this. You can just cut down on your rose water content in this particular thing. So they've given the mutton piece separate. It's got some amount of oil in this. That's my chop, aloo, egg, as well as some salads. Let's try the rice first. The grains are pretty long and fine, but the rose water essence is a little concentrated. So I think that needs to be taken into consideration. The meat is pretty soft. So I've got a good piece. Let's try some of that with the meat, the potato, which again is pretty soft again. It just breaks down when you put a little pressure. The meat just fell while I was taking the bite, and I was looking for the meat while munching. Anyway, here it is. They give a masaledar egg as well, with some of that chaap ka masala. Speaking of which, here is my chicken chop. So they give one big piece, which is cut into two, I guess. So that's one, and this is two, just to fit into this combo box. So let's give this chicken chop a taste. It's advisable to microwave it a little bit before eating. Especially with Mughlai food, some of that aroma is so much a part of the entire experience that you cannot miss out on those. Now, appearances can be deceiving. At first look, at first smell, you might have thought that this biryani, I certainly did, that it's going to be very rich. But contrary to that assumption, this biryani is actually pretty light, assuming you will not feel very bloated after finishing this. And complementing this with some fine, freshly cut vegetables like cucumber and onion, I think your day is made. They've given this with an accompaniment of a raita as well. But as always the case, I tend to avoid most of these raitas or chutneys given by restaurants. So that was my experience with the Harry's Bistro today. Honestly, their Chinese was so good, especially those basil items, the rice and the noodles, that everything else couldn't somehow just stand up to it, because that was so beyond expectations. Anyone who has watched this video, if you're living in Saltlake area, I think you should just go ahead and order a Chinese meal from there. Find out if they have a la carte. If you don't want to have anything else, just order that basil rice and the noodles, especially the rice, because that is something amazing. If you guys are non-vegetarians, what you can do, I'm sure they have non-vegetarian options as an add-on to add chicken, egg, etc. You can just go ahead with that. Other than that, anyone who is a fan of biryani, which most of you are over Chinese, I'm sure, you can go ahead and try that out. The chop combo is pretty reasonable. In fact, it is cheap, all right, because you have a lot of offers on Swiggy and Zomato, which I'm hearing 30-40% off, etc. I'm going to link everything in the description, including all the details of the stuff which I've had, so that you can go ahead and you can order from them. Folks who are watching this video on Facebook or YouTube, please go ahead and subscribe as well as follow to the respective channels which you're watching these on. We are being extremely active on Instagram as well. Lockdown, that's one positive which has happened. I'm getting a lot of time actually to dedicate to these platforms. So Instagram, those of you who are not following Foodspa on Instagram, we're putting a truckload of stuff over there. We're having a lot of interactions in the stories as well. So you can definitely go ahead and follow that. Some of our reels are doing pretty well. You can check those out as well. Until next time, this is me wrapping up from my Elisha place. Cheers.